Good morning, students. So today we'll have another session on Kingdom Protista. So last class we have discussed about the introduction part of biological classification and as well as the Kingdom Monera. And this session we will going to deal with the Kingdom Protista. So coming to the general characteristic of Protistas, here it includes a single-celled eukaryotes. So it consists of single-celled eukaryotes, and the cell contains the well-defined nucleus. Since eukaryotes means consist of a nuclear membrane and well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. So membrane-bound organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, your lysosomes and vacuoles are present. Some have a flagella or a cilia that helpful for the locomotion. Protistas are primarily they are aquatic. Aquatic means they are organisms which are found in the water. So it is linked with the plants and animals as well as the fungi. The protista they have a link with the plants, animals and have the fungi. They reproduce asexually, sexually, cell fusion, and there will be a zygote formation. So both asexual and sexual reproductions, and there is a fusion of a cell and ultimately the zygote formation. So like the reproduction goes on. Some protistas includes the chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenites, slime molds, and the protozoans. These are the some classification which are found in the Protista, that is chrysophytes, the dinoflagellates, euglenites, slime molds, and protozoans. Coming to the chrysophytes, they are found in a freshwater and a marine environments. So they are mainly found in a freshwater and marine farms, and they are microscopic, and they are float on a facilely in the water current there. So since they are very minute and it is invisible or for naked eyes, since they are microscopic and float facilely with the water current, that we call as a plankton. Most of them are photosynthetic. They prepare their own food. So it includes diatoms or golden algae that we called as the Desmidaceae families. And here diatoms, they have a siliceous cell walls forming two within overlapping shells which fit together as a soapbox. Soapbox there are. So they have the overlapping shells, and the cell wall which is deposited diatoms over billions of years in their habitat known as a diatomaceous earth. So this is used for a polishing and filtration and for a filtration of oils and syrups. So these diatoms are utilized, and diatoms are the chief producers of the oceans. Okay, so next we will go with the dinoflagellates, the another class of another type of Protista. Mostly they are marine and photosynthetic. They are found in the salt water, right? And they are photosynthetic in nature. They prepare their own food. They appear yellow, green, brown, blue, red based on the pigment present on their cells. They appear in a different colors like a yellow, green, brown, or a red based on the main pigment present in their cells. The cell wall was a stiff cellulose plate on the outer surface. The outer cell wall is a more stiff and it has a cellulose plates. And most of them two flagella, one lies longitudinally, other transversely to furrow between the wall plates. So one will be longitudinally, it is present there, another in the small towards a furrow between the two plates they are found. The red dinoflagellates and convolvulus undergo rapid multiplication so that appears red tides. They are releases toxin, kill marine animals like a fishes. These are red dinoflagellates. For example, if you take a convolvulus which undergo multiplication, means it undergo increasing the number of convolvulus, and ultimately the sea appear in a red color. When you look into the sea, which appears like a red color due to the red tides, and that is the multiplication of convolvulus. And these convolvulus which releases a the toxin and it kills the other other marine animals like a fishes. Okay. Next class, euglenids. And euglenids are mainly a freshwater organism found in a stagnant water. So it is a freshwater. It may be present in a lake, a river, streams, or estuaries. It is mainly they are found in the stagnant water. Instead of cell wall, they have a protein-rich layer called a pellicle. So here, when you take up a plant cell, the plant cell is made up of a cellulose, and if you take a bacterial cell, it is made up of chitin. Like here, instead of euglenids, it doesn't have a cell wall. So replacing a cell wall, there is another protein-rich layer called as a pellicle that makes a flexible body. It makes a body flexible. Okay. And they have a two flagella, and one is the short, another is the long one. So this is dissimilar of flagellas are there, and that mainly helps in a locomotion. They are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight. Means say if they are photosynthetic if the presence of a sunlight, euglenids. And the absence of sunlight, they behaves like a heterotrophs by predating other small organisms. This is a mixed trophic ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ the euglenids. See, they have a dual nature in it. Like if the sunlight is present, they acts as a photosynthetic organisms. They prepare their own food. Okay, if sunlight, for example, the weather conditions is not favorable, where the sun rays are is not getting, in such cases they become a heterotrophs, predating the other small organisms, and the pigments are identical those in a higher plants, and example is euglena. So since look at here the protista, they have a link with the plants, animals. Like here, especially euglena, they're going to link with the animals as well as the plant. So it secretes the pigments. The pigmentation only you can find in the plants. So same way, so if the pigments are present, obviously it's going to take part in a photosynthesis. When the sunlight is absence of sunlight, it behaves like an animal and feeding up to the other organisms that we call as a heterotrophs anta ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay. Next ನೋಡೋಣ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದು slime molds. And they are saproprotic protistas, and since they are depend upon the dead and decaying organisms, the dead part of a plants and dead part of a animals, and the body moves along with the decaying twigs and leaves engulfing a organic material. So here the twigs, leaves of the dead part of a plants, so that make a consumes as a organic material. Under suitable conditions, they form a aggregation called as a plasmodium that spread over several feet. So on favorable condition, so that get aggregated, slime mold get aggregated as a plasmodium, and that spreads several feet. Under unfavorable conditions, plasmodium differentiate and forms the fruiting bodies we are called as a spores. And here, so during a favorable conditions, they're going to form as a plasmodium. Under another unfavorable conditions, plasmodium differentiate into and forms a fruiting bodies bearing a spores, that the plasmodium inside the plasmodium, and they forms a spores in unfavorable conditions at their tips. Okay, at their apical tips, and spores have a true walls. The spores have a true walls, which are residue walls, which are make a resistant to the survive for many years, and spores are dispersed by a year. So the plasmodium is formed in during a favorable conditions. In unfavorable conditions, from the plasmodium, the spores were formed that present in the tips, and those spores are consist of the thick cell wall, and that makes a resistant to the environmental conditions, which can survive for several years. Okay, and suitable environmental conditions, the spores and grows as a new individual protista. So saproprotic protista agi slime molds agi formation agta hogutte. So this is about the slime molds. So we'll come to the end part of the protistas. Here last one is the protozoans. They are heterotrophs, and mainly we called as a predators, or we can say that ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Predators are parasites which depend upon the other organisms. They have primitive relative of animals. So here, so the protozoans are, they are primitive relative of animals. So as earlier I said, so there is a link between the protista with the plants and animals. So fungi also. Here the amoeboid protozoans. So we make a 4 group of protozoans: amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and the sporozoans. So 4 are there. And here the amoeboid protozoans, they live in a fresh water or sea water or a moist soil content, and they capture prey, putting out a pseudopodia, a false septa. So the formation of a false septa, and the prey may not recognize the predator, and they capture the prey, and that is a false feet ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Amoeba and marine forms have silica cells on their shells. Some of them are parasite. Best example is entamoeba. Entamoeba histolytica, that is amoeboid protozoans, and this have a means for the survival and for the food. Here it consists of a pseudopodia. Pseudo means it's a false. Podia means it is a feet. So it have a false feet which attracts to the prey. A prey, when it comes near to the this pseudopodia, so that meanwhile these protozoans, amoeboid protozoans, going to capture the prey, and so that ends up with the nutrition part. Okay, so coming to the flagellated protozoans, the word here refers to the flagellated. Flagellated antandre they have a flagella. Okay, they have a flagella. Okay, and they are either free living or parasitic. Okay, either they are free living, they depend, they will not depend upon any organisms there, or sometimes they depend upon other organisms, then it is called as a parasitic anta karitivi. Okay, that we call as a parasitic. And they have a flagella. Means they shows a locomotion, it go from one place to the another place. And the parasitic forms causes a disease such as a sleeping sickness, that is a trypanosoma. Trypanosoma is an organism which causes a sleeping sickness. Okay, sleeping sickness. And next one is ciliated protozoans. They are aquatic, actively moving organisms using thousands of cilia. The word refers to ciliated protozoans. The entire body is covered with the many numerous of hair-like structure called as a cilia, and these cilia helps in the locomotion as flagella. Flagella yav riti locomotion help madutto, here also the cilia makes the movement of organism. And they have a cavity, that is a gullet, that opens outside. They have a cavity called as a gullet outside. By the movement of cilia, the water and food enters into the gullet. One cavity mukantra water ಮತ್ತೆ food ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ gullet ಮುಖಾಂತರ. Best example is a paramecium. Okay, so last one is, that is a sporozoans. They have a infectious spore like a stage in their life cycle, that is a plasmodium, that is a malarial parasite is a best example. And this plasmodium, so which completes a life cycle with the two hosts. One is mosquito, and is the man. So only sexual ಮತ್ತು asexual reproduction formation agi it completes its life cycle. So this is the sporozoans. So far we have seen in the protozoans ali amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and the sporozoans. So that completes the end of the kingdom Protista. So coming to the fungi barana. Okay. So it is a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. Since fungi, it was placed under the plant kingdom, and it is a non-photosynthetic you can say that it is a non-photosynthetic organisms, you can say that. So where plant, it consists of a photosynthetic pigments which actively participate in preparation of food, and fungi are, they are heterotrophic organisms. They are unique kingdom having heterotrophic organisms. The fungi are cosmopolitan in distribution. They are found everywhere. The cosmopolitan in distribution. They grow in a warm and humid places. Okay, they are grown in a warm and humid places. Best example is bread mold, orange roots, mushroom or toadstools are the etc. The best example for the fungi. The white spots on mustard leaves are due to the parasitic fungus. So when you look into the mustard leaves, they have some white spots over leaves, and this is nothing but a parasitic fungus, which lives on the other organisms, and it get nourishes from the leaf part. Fungus is a heterotrophic organisms which cannot prepare their own food, since it has to be depend upon other organism. Yavdo, the leaves become a host here, and the fungus become a which get nourishes from the leaf. And some fungi are the source of antibiotics. Penicillium notatum, Penicillium chrysogenum. So ಈ Penicillium chrysogenum, Penicillium notatum ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ, ನಾವು penicillin injection ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೋತೀವಲ್ಲ, that is all get together from the fungi. That is the source of, that is the antibiotics. Okay. And some unicellular fungi, that is example yeast, are used to make a bread and a beer. So it is Saccharomyces cerevisiae ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Brewer's yeast, baker's yeast ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Same yeast, if it is used for the bread, preparation of a bread, and that we call as a baker's. So it is used in baker's yeast ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. When the same yeast utilized for the preparation of a beer, so then it is called as a brewer's yeast. Okay, other fungi cause diseases in plants and animals, that is a wheat rust of causes a Fuchsinia. So causing that is a wheat rust that is caused by Fuchsinia, so that is a disease causes. Except yeast, fungi are also a filamentous. So yeast is the unicellular fungi. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಫಂಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ that is nothing but a yeast. All are remaining are filamentous. Okay, their body consists of thread like structure called as a hyphae. Where in our ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಿದ್ರಿ ಆಲ್ಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ಕರೀತೀರಿ, hyphae ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಿ. The network of hyphae is known as a mycelium. So that complete network of the body is called as a hyphae. The complete network of hyphae is called as a mycelium. Okay, some hyphae are continuous tubes filled with the multinucleated cytoplasm. So one filamentally they consist of a cytoplasm with numerous of multinucleated and many nucleus, that we call as a cenocytic hyphae. And others they have a septa or a cross walls with the hyphae. So when the cross wall is not present, septa irlilla antandre cenocytic conditions irutte. Septa formation aito, cross wall formation aito, and there will be like walls, one wall, you know, one filamentously there will be a septa, and with the distance there will be a septa, and there will be a septa, and when the septa are formed, when the cross wall is formed, the cenocytic condition will not be present, because that only consists of either one or two nucleus. The cenocytic conditions is not present. Cenocytic conditions antandre here the hyphae, the tube, the continuous tube filled with the multinucleated many nucleus that is suspended in the cytoplasm. ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ. And fungal cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharides. So fungal cell is made up of chitin and polysaccharides. ನೀವು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಕೋಲನ್ ಕೈಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್, ಹೆಮಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್, ಪೆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ಲೀರನ್ ಕೈಮ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಲಿಗ್ನಿನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಪ್ಯಾರನ್ ಕೈಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ. ದಿ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ chitin and polysaccharides in case of fungal. Okay, fungal cell ನೋಡಿದಾಗ. And most of fungi are saprophytes. So they are absorbed soluble organic matter from the dead substrate. ಈಗ ಡೆಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಸತ್ತೋಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗಿದೆ, ಮರ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಎಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಎ ಡೆಟ್ರಿಟಸ್, ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಆರ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಎ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ fungi, and some of they are parasite. So saprophyte dead and decaying, dead organisms ಮೇಲೆ, parasite living organisms ಮೇಲೆ. Some living as symbionts like a lichens, algae and fungi ಜೊತೆಗೆ, algae and fungi and algae, lichens, there will be symbionts, both get nourishes each other, both get mutually get benefited on both. Since the fungi is a heterotrophic conditions, algae is a autotrophic, the fungi that gives means protection to the algae will provide a food to the fungi, so both mutually get benefited, adana symbiotes anta kareeತೀವಿ. And mycorrhiza, the fungi and roots, they have association with the roots and higher plants, so root will provide the shelter and food for the fungi, and meanwhile fungi will provide nutritions to the plant body through a root system. So that is a mycorrhiza. And coming to the reproduction part, vegetative propagation, there is a fragmentation and fission and the budding, and asexual reproduction by the spores such as conidia and sporogenous spores and the formation of zoospores. Sexual reproduction bandaga oospores, ascospores, basidiospores, and distinct feature called as a fruiting bodies. Got it? So these are the some reproduction. In sexual reproduction bandaga there will be plasmogamy. Plasma nodi, if the plasma on the bandaga, there is a fusion of protoplasm between two motile or non-motile gametes. One karyogamy. Karyo means it is a nucleus, a fusion of nucleus, and later the meiosis in zygote divided to produce a haploid spores. Haploid spores which will get dispersal from the parental body and it grows as a new individual one. Okay. Next, the fungus is a reproduces sexually to haploid hyphae, to compatible mating types come together and fuse. When the two haploid hyphae there, so they make a compatible mating. So andre they are compatible mating. They are correctly matching, we can say that, together and fuse, and the formation of a diploid cells. When haploid cells fuse together, they forms a diploid cells that we call as a dikaryoid stage or dikaryon space anta kareeತೀವಿ, that we call as a dikaryon. Di andre 2, karyon andre nucleus. ಎರಡು haploid spores ಇದೆ, fuse ಆಯ್ತು, 1 2 ಅಂದಾಗ ಡೈ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋನ್. ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನ ಡೈ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And the fungi from a fruiting bodies in which reduction of occurs, leading the formation of a haploid spores. So haploid spores formation ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. And based on the morphology of mycelium, the mode of spore formation and fruiting bodies, fungi are classified into different classes. ಯಾವು? ಒಂದು ಫೈಕೋಮೈಸಿಟಿಸೋ, ಆಸ್ಕೋಮೈಸಿಟಿಸೋ, ಬೆಸಿಡಿಯೋಮೈಸಿಟಿಸೋ, ಡ್ಯೂಟ್ರೋಮೈಸಿಟಿಸೋ. So these are the some classification that is made on the basis of morphology of mycelia, mode of spore formation and the fruiting bodies. ಮೂರು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿ, ಹೌ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ hyphae or mycelium is means present, what is the condition of mycelium. Next, the mode of spore formation, what kind of spores are formed. We have seen in the zoospores, oospores in the sexual reproduction. Okay, asexual reproduction, spore formation. Next, fruiting body. So what is the type of fruiting body? So based on these characters, we made a classification of these Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. Okay, so we will go one by one in the next session. Okay, thank you.